Ben, welcome to AI to Peace.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks.
Ben, the first question I wanted to ask you is could you just tell us about yourself and your journey and how that led to the work that you're doing today around AI?
Sure. So I was born in the late 60s. I learned about AI from science fiction, really, from the original Star Trek and such, and then reading science fiction novels and stories. Then as I got on toward university, I realized there was an actual scientific field of AI and that you could actually work on trying to make machines think like people and even better. And I mean, this was very exciting to me. So I got my PhD in math in the late 80s, but already I was trying to program AI and trying to understand how my own mind worked and other people's minds worked with a view toward understanding how to implement minds in software, right? So after maybe a decade in academia, I entered the software industry in the late 90s, have been involved with a series of commercial and nonprofit AI project. So I introduced the term artificial general intelligence in 2004 or 5 as the title of a an edited book that I put out with that title. And I've been trying to build thinking machines in my own unusual way since then, which is different than what most of the mainstream is doing. I mean, I'm using neural nets, but also other kinds of AI like logical inference algorithms, evolutionary learning, trying to integrate everything within cognitive architectures that are oriented toward sort of autonomy and creativity, like AIs that understand who they are and what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing, can sort of self-organize their own value systems and get into beneficial interaction with people. And I mean, on the human level, I've had 5 kids, one granddaughter, and sort of lead kind of a low-tech lifestyle in reality, except for my work, sort of living in a forest area and enjoying nature, right? So I don't really view the quest to create superhuman thinking machines as a quest to like get away from what it is to be human or something. It's more, can improve our health. It can enrich our lives and make the human experience even better.
Amazing. Incredible. What a story. So SingularityNet is being a supporter and an enabler of Peace One Day to manifest AI to peace. So, Ben, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for supporting us and making today possible. It's incredibly kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And yeah, so SingularityNet, this project came out of a concern by myself and some colleagues on not so much how do you engineer an AGI, a general intelligence, a thinking machine that can really generalize and create and imagine and choose like people. Not so much how do you build the AGI, but who owns and controls the AGI in its early stages. I mean, eventually, when AGI becomes more generally intelligent and capable than people, which I do think will happen in time, I mean, then none of us are owning or controlling it. And we'd better hope that we've put a positive, compassionate value system into it, right? But as early stage AGIs get smarter and smarter and smarter, who owns and controls that is important in the same sense that it's important who raises a child through their teenage years, even if the child will eventually grow up to become autonomous, right? And it seemed like a decentralized infrastructure that would allow early stage AGI to be controlled by a large combination of different parties working together in a sort of collective participatory way. Like it seemed like that's better than one government or one big company controlling it. So we've built an infrastructure allowing that. It allows you to run an AI system on huge amount of computers all over the world, guided by, a participatory collective of human or AI participants. I mean, that's what SingularityNet has done. And then we're working on some particular AI systems to run on top of this decentralized infrastructure.
It's really incredible. Now, there are some people who might be listening because there might be some young people out there, people from universities or wherever. AGI, talk to us about what that means.
So what I meant when I introduced the term AGI, and we came up with it maybe 2002, it was just the title of a book in 2005. What we meant was an AI system that could generalize, could make leaps beyond its programming and data with at least the power that people have when they generalize beyond their experience and take a big imaginative leap into the unknown. Now, as will happen, others have adopted the term to mean slightly different things in the period since then. Some are using it just to mean an AI that can do a broad scope of things, like take on most human jobs or something. And that's also general, but it's a little different to me, because if an AI could do 95% of human jobs, but just by copying what people do when they do those jobs, it's still not really generalizing beyond this experience much. It's just copying its experience. And it's the ability to take leaps beyond our experience that has let us invent modern science and art and culture and democracy and all the good stuff, right? And I'd say we're not quite there yet in terms of having AI technology that can really generalize beyond its experience and take imaginative leaps like people can. On the other hand, I think we may be just a few years off, which is quite astounding, right, in the scope of human history.
When you hear the phrase AI to peace, what's the reality of such an outcome?
To me, the obstacle in making a peaceful AI rich future is more on the human side than the AI side. So, I mean, I think one can create AI systems with a variety of different value systems and orientations. And just as people are not the most intelligent thinkers or the fastest runners, which is possible in our physical universe, we're not maximally compassionate either. And we see evidence for that all around, right? So, I mean, I think we can totally make AIs that manifest positive values of love, compassion, support, understanding, very, very well, but better than human society does, right? So the issue isn't that an AI is going to inevitably go berserk and try to be a megalomaniac and turn people into hard drives or something, right? And the challenges with the future of AI to me are human beings with selfish, uncompassionate motives and limited ways of thinking, using early stage AGI just to do the same selfish, nasty shit they'll be doing without AI, but do it better. So AI to peace, this is about, to me, in the early stages of AI, before AI becomes super intelligent and fully autonomous and all that, like, what are we using it for? Are we using it for selling, killing, spying, crooked gambling, and plagiarizing, like seem to be the main uses at the moment? Or are we using them for education? Are we using them for healthcare? Are we using them to help people expand their consciousness, right? I mean, all these things are possible. Which ones are getting more money and attention at the moment?
Very interesting, Ben. Thank you. So when we talk about AI, you have the knowledge that you have. I mean, do you have fear about its development, the way it's going, or do you actually think no? I actually think because you really know this stuff.
I think that AI will be a great thing for humanity in the medium term. I think we're going to be able to create AIs much smarter than people, and they will be more evolved in consciousness and values than people, in the same way that we're more evolved in consciousness and values than chimpanzees. And I think that a superhuman AI will provide greater health for our bodies, greater material abundance. It will free us up to realize ourselves in ways that are more of a challenge, given the way society is now structured. So I'm an optimist that we can create really powerfully beneficial AGI. What worries me is the transitional period between now, or say 2 years from now, when we have an AGI that's almost as smart as people, and say 5 or 10 years after that, when you have a really beneficial super AGI, a super intelligence, right? So even if I'm right that the super intelligence will be compassionate, beneficial, and somewhere close to utopic, though nothing will ever truly be perfect, right? Even if that's correct, what happens in the transitional period, and in particular, what happens in the developing world during the transitional period? So suppose 1 year AI can do 90% of the jobs that people now get paid to do. In the developed world, you'll have universal basic income roll out after a whole bunch of really annoying political upheaval, but it's hard to see what else is going to happen. Like there is enough wealth, and in the end, government will give that wealth to the voters who need it, right? But who gives universal basic income in the Central African Republic, right? It's the wealth isn't there. People can go back to subsistence farming, then they don't have money to pay their phone bills or get prescription medicine. So, and the appetite for foreign aid from the developed to the developing world appears to be diminishing rather than increasing, at least from an American perspective, right? So it seems like there's a recipe for a very difficult transitional period as AI gets smarter and smarter. Like once it's smart enough, it can just 3D print all the goodies that we want and give us disease curing pills and prolong our lives. Okay. But even if that's right, it will take a while to get there. And our current social and political structures seem quite bad at dealing with much simpler things in the advent of AGI. Like we still have stupid wars all over the place for essentially no good reason. 60% of kids in Ethiopia, where we have an AI development office, 60% of kids in Ethiopia grow up brain stunted due to malnutrition, right? And I mean, so we've got very basic problems going on around the world now that we're dealing with incredibly badly. So it seems like our global, like socio-political systems are not really geared up to the problem of smoothing us through the transition to a singularity when you have a beneficial superintelligence. Even if you assume a beneficial superintelligence is where we're going and not some darker final outcome.
Amazing, Ben. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Finally, if people would like to be able to find out more about your work, how can they do that?
Well, you can look at SingularityNet.io, which is the website of my primary project, SingularityNet, or superintelligence.io, which is the website of the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, and my personal website, Goertzel.org, Goertzel.org, and all these contain information on stuff I'm doing. The SingularityNet website has an email list you can sign up for to get a newsletter. So yeah, now was the time to get involved with AI to peace and with building beneficial general intelligence overall. Like this is something our whole species is doing. It's not going to be stopped because AI is delivering too much benefit all over the place. So it's up to all of us to use our own general intelligence to figure out what we can do to direct the next stages of development in a positive way.
Well, Ben, I hope I get to meet you one day, and good luck with the incredible work that you're doing. And thank you for participating in AI to Peace.
Thanks a lot.